So as Anshu said, it is day 5 of the Middle Eastern or the West Asian conflict, and neither side is now planning to back down just yet. US President Donald Trump has now claimed in this latest statement that the US has destroyed Iran's military infrastructure and its top leadership. In fact, in the last few hours alone, the US has also struck the building housing Iran's assembly of experts, and this is the very panel that actually selects the supreme leader of the country.
And Donald Trump has also made it clear that the nation, in fact, has enough military arrangements in its stockpile to go on fighting wars forever. That's a statement that is coming in from Donald Trump on day 5 of the Middle East war.
Well, this is the development that is now coming in, where President Trump has now reiterated that the war can continue for at least 4 to 5 weeks, and they are ready for a prolonged and intensified conflict that has been continuing in the Middle East.
And they had no problems with it. Also hitting only civilian places, hotels and apartment buildings, and we're hitting them where it is much more appropriate. We're hitting them very hard. And the big scale hitting goes now. They no longer have air protection. They no longer have any detection facilities at all left. And so they're gonna be in for a lot of hurt. As you see very well, they have no Navy, it's been knocked out. They have no Air Force, it's been knocked out. They have no air detection, that's been knocked out. Their radar has been knocked out. And just about everything's been knocked out. So we'll see how we do, but we're doing very well. We have a great military.
And now we have a statement coming in from U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. He has spoken on Trump's Iran strategy. He has said that the strike before retaliation plan that he has elaborated on. Rubio on Trump's war plan, he has said that Trump has run a preemptive strike. Rubio has also spoken on why Donald Trump hit Iran. He has said, and I quote, let me explain to you guys this in simple English. Iran is run by lunatics, religious fanatic lunatics. They have an ambition to have nuclear weapons. They intend to develop those nuclear weapons behind a program of missiles and drones and terrorism that the world will not be able to touch them for fear of those things. Listen in to what he said.
Iran cannot have these missiles, cannot have these drones, cannot threaten the world. The president said this is the weakest they've ever been. If we don't hit them now, a year from now, or a year and a half from now, no one will be able to touch them, and they'll be able to do whatever they want. We were going to go first. He was not going to run the risk that they could attack us before we could hit them, because in addition to costing lives, it would undermine the effectiveness of our operation.
Srinjoy, good morning. Help us understand when it comes to these, varied statements that have been coming in from the Trump administration. President Trump says that they're ready for a prolonged, intensified war, the conflict. Marco Rubio says, as far as the objectives are concerned, they have now been achieved. So what does, give an understanding of these statements that are now coming in from the U.S.?
Even President Trump has said that the Navy has been knocked out and the air defense has been knocked out, which means that the radars have been knocked out, the SAM missiles, that is the surface-to-air missiles, have been knocked out. So what is left? Your Air Force has been knocked out, your Navy has been knocked out, so your air defense is knocked out. The only thing, according to the Americans, that there has left is the ballistic missile capability. And those missiles and drones are going through, hitting targets in Israel, the American bases, and these Gulf countries, whether it's the UAE, whether it's Saudi Arabia, whether it's Kuwait, whether it's Bahrain, whether it's Doha in Qatar. So all the Iranians have, according to the Americans, is the last offensive capability. That is missiles and drones. Now, that's what the Americans are saying. On the other hand, you heard President Trump say all this. Secretary Rubio had said something else. This was not said earlier when the war actually started. He is saying now that they were ready to strike us, and if we don't hit everything what is left, they will be back to hitting us again in a year. Now, this is new. which basically means that the Iranians still have resources, still have weapon systems, and this is what the Americans are aiming at. The weapon systems, infrastructure, because we haven't heard of attacks on infrastructure for a long time.
Yes.
This is the first time we are hearing the word infrastructure. Now, the other question is, are they going to strike the oil refineries? Are they going to strike the oil wells? If they do, they will cause extensive damage, environmental damage as well. So we have to see what the Americans will do now.
Well, America says that they are ready as far as, making an estimate that as long as the war continues, America is ready to be present there and play an active role. And this is also coming at a time when President Trump maintains that almost nothing is left out of the military of Iran, and its senior leadership has been obliterated. And as far as when it comes to Iran still going after all of the U.S. assets in the Middle East, and even when it comes to the friendly nations and the allies, Iran is now armed with its own set of ballistic missiles, and that is probably that they are going all out. That is where they are getting their confidence from, because not just the drones there, but the ballistic missiles in question. Akansha will help us understand what's there as far as in Iran's weaponry.
All right, let me take you through the missiles that Iran has and their range as well. Let me take you through the first one. The first one is Fateh. The range is 300 kilometers. So as you can see, as far as Iran is concerned, Shahab 1, 300 kilometers is the range. Shahab 2, 500 kilometer range. Qayyam 1, 500 kilometer range. Zulfagar 700 kilometer range. Shahab 3, that is 1,300 kilometer range that it has. That means it can attack countries in the range of 1,300 kilometer. Let's tell you about Sejil, 2,000 kilometer range, and Somar that has a 2,000 kilometer range as well. So that goes on to show the capability that Iran has as far as the missiles are concerned, and how many countries it can attack, and it has attacked also in the last 5 days. That also includes the countries in Gulf as well. Amita.
Absolutely.